Hello and welcome to Vision Academy. In this video, we are going to learn while loop in C programming. This particular statement is also called as a pre-tested looping construct because it is going to check the condition before executing any of the statements. Hence, it is called pre-tested looping construct. Let us begin with the syntax or general form of while loop. Here we are going to use a keyword called while. It should be written in lowercase letter, and inside the round bracket we are going to write the condition that is to be checked. If this condition is true, then statement 1 will get executed repeatedly till this condition is true. Once it is false, then control comes out of this looping construct and it is going to execute the next statement if any. So this is a single statement that will get executed repeatedly till this condition is true. What is going to happen if I want to execute repeatedly certain set of statements? In that situation, I have to use a compound statement. This is called a simple statement. And now we are going to write a while statement that uses the compound statement. That is multiple lines of code that will get executed repeatedly till the condition is true. Here I'm going to write while and condition in a round bracket. Here we are going to use curly open brace. I'll write here statement number 1, next statement number 2, and so on. We can have n number of statements. So these statements are grouped together in open and closing brace that forms a code. It is also called a block. So writing certain finite set of instructions that comes under the influence of while is called compound statement. Now let us draw a flowchart for the same. Here I'm going to write flowchart for this particular while condition using simple statement. I'm going to draw a flowchart, then we'll go for flowchart for compound statement. Now I'm going to write the down arrow mark, and now we are going to check out here condition is condition. If it is true, then what is going to happen? If it is false, then what is going to happen? So here condition, if it is true, then statement 1 will get executed. I'm going to write here statement 1. It should be written in a rectangular box. Now here this particular statement has to execute repeatedly. For that, I have to draw a dotted arrow mark. So that represent control flow. Always continuous arrow mark represent data flow, and this is called the uh, control flow, right? Yes. Now, if it is false, what is going to happen? If it is false, then control comes out of this looping construct and then it is going to execute the next statement. Here I'm going to write next statement and put it in a rectangular box. So similarly, here we are going to write for compound statement down arrow mark is condition question mark. We are going to write rhombus. So rhombus is used for selection statements as well as for iterative statement while and do while looping constructs. Now, if this condition is true, then set of statements must get executed. So you can check out the second syntax. We have got certain statements. I'll write here statement 1, statement 2, and so on. We can have n number of statements. So this one should be written in a rectangular box. So these set of statements must get executed repeatedly until the condition is true, correct? So once it is false, control comes out of this looping constructs, and then it is going to execute the next statement. So write it in a rectangular box. Now let us move on to example. Here in a single line comment, I'm going to write a program to print numbers in descending order using while loop. Let us begin with the preprocessor directives. Hash include, in Angular brace we'll write standard input output dot h header file. The next preprocessor directive is hash include, in Angular brace we'll write console input output dot h header file. Now we will write void main function curly open brace. Here I'm going to declare a variable called n of type integer. So CLR SCR is the function which is used to clear the string. Now we are going to ask the user to enter the number using printf statement. I'm going to write here printf in a double quotation mark. I'll write enter the number, end the double quotation mark, and put semicolon. Now we are going to receive the value from the user through keyboard using scanf statement. In a double quotation mark, I'm going to write %d because n is integer type of data. %d is a format specifier that represent integer type of data. End the double quotation mark, put comma, ampersand of this n, and put semicolon. Now we are going to use while construct. Here I'm going to write while n is greater than 0. If it is greater than 0, then I'll use curly open brace that indicates it's a compound statement. I want to print the value of n using printf statement. Here I'm going to write in a double quotation mark %d, end the double quotation mark, comma, n. So n value will be printed, and after this I'm going to write minus minus n, that is called pre-decrementation. The value of n will get decremented by 1 every time, curly closing brace. And now I'm going to write get ch function and curly closing brace for this main function. Now let us take an example. Here I'm going to write output. Once we compile and run this program, it will ask the user to enter the number. Here I'm going to write enter the number. For example, I'm going to type 5. So this 5 is stored in what? Variable n. So now n is 5. So while n is greater than 0, so while n is what? 5 is greater than 0, yes, condition is true. Once it is true, then control enters into the body of this while loop, and it is going to print the value of n. For the first time, value of n is what? 5. So it is going to print 5, and then we have written minus minus n. So it is going to decrement the value of n by 1. So here it will become 4. So once again, control transfers to while loop, and 4 is greater than 0. Yes, once again it is true. It is going to print the next number, that is 4 will be printed. So again we have minus minus. So 4 minus 1, it will become 3. Again control transfers to while. 3 is greater than 0. Yes, it is true. Once again it is going to print the value of n, that is 3. Here minus minus 3 gives us 2. Once again control transfers to while, and it is going to check 2 is greater than 0. Yes, condition is once again true. It is going to print the value of n, that is 2. Minus minus 2 is 1, that is 2 minus 1 is 1. So once again control transfers to while. 1 is greater than 0. Yes, it is true. Here it is going to print the value of n, that is 1. Now minus minus n gives us 1 minus 1. It will become 0. Once again, control transfers to while 0 is greater than 0. This time, this returns false value. If it is false, then directly control comes out of this looping construct, and then it is going to execute the next statement, if any. Here we have getch function, then it terminates the program. It is going to print all the 5 numbers in a descending order. Now let us execute this program. Here you can see I've already written this program. Now let us compile this program by pressing Alt F9. Here it is showing success, that indicates there is no syntax error. Now let us execute this program by pressing Ctrl F9. Now you can check out, it is asking the user to enter the number. Here I'm going to enter 5 and press enter. Now you can check out, we got all the 5 numbers in a descending order.